Hello everyone, my name is Stanley St. Bros, and today we're going to be talking about the Boston Photographs written by Nora Ephron. Now, before I go into the summary analysis of this essay, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. I'd like to thank you guys for watching my videos and for supporting the channel and just enjoying my summaries and my reviews. The channel has reached 1,000 subscribers, and that is awesome. Hey Google, clap for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's enough. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the videos and for supporting the channel and subscribing. That is awesome. And there are more videos to come, more books to reviews and to talk about. All right, so let's start talking about this essay and what happens in this essay. So in this essay, Nora Ephron kind of gives us the story about this fire that happened where this mother and her child is on the fire escape, and there's a fireman that's trying to rescue them, and basically he doesn't rescue them, and they fall from the fire escape. It's a very tense situation that takes place within the essay. The mother falls, but somehow in some way the child is like on top of her, and when she falls to the ground she ends up dying. She hits the ground extremely hard, as you would imagine, from falling from a building. And the child lands on top of her. The child survives. The fireman, he pretty much fails at rescuing the two of them, and basically it creates a very horrific moment, a very sad moment, a very tragic incident. And the big issue within this essay is what happens after this whole situation takes place, because there's a photographer there, and the essay kind of begins with the photographer taking the pictures as the situation unfolds. And, the pictures, they pretty much catch death in action, because this woman and her child, they fall to their deaths. And even though that society's form of protection from that, the fireman, fire stations, the fire department of cities all across America, all across the world, they exist to protect people from fires, to protect people from tragedies such as the one that takes place within this essay. But the fireman fails, the system fails, and this woman and her child, they fall to their deaths, and this photographer takes pictures of this whole incident, and it ends up on the news, and you kind of see several different types of newspapers within the essay. We're told posts the pictures everywhere, and the mass audience of different types of papers, they react differently to the pictures. And a lot of people, the feedback is kind of like, this is just very sad that all of these newspapers are using the death of these two individuals to increase their profits, to increase their audience, to shock people. And they pretty much say that it's distasteful, that it's something that death is something that should be private. So there's a debate, there's an argument about ethics that comes along within this essay of, should we depict dead bodies? Should we depict people who are dying or people who are about to die? Are we invading their privacy? Because, when you're about to die, especially in a tragic situation, you're afraid, you're about to lose your life, you're about to lose everything that you are and everything that you own and everything that you represent. And so that's a moment that some people might want to be private, because it's a very horrific and a very dark picture, because you can see within the pictures that the mother is she's terrified, she's scared, she's about to die, her arms and legs are flailing all over the place. The child's afraid, everybody's afraid. The fireman, you can see that he's tense. He's a brave individual, but at the same time, he's in a very stressful situation, a very arduous situation. He's doing all that he can to save these people. And while all of this is happening, there's a burning building behind them, and it's a lot. And so there's a lot of debate that happens within the essay. Nora Ephron doesn't really tell us her opinion about the pictures. She kind of tells us what she feels in the end of the essay. For most of the essay, we kind of get different arguments, different point of views from different people writing to newspapers saying that, you guys are horrible for printing this. You guys shouldn't print pictures like this. You guys shouldn't post or print pictures of dead bodies on newspapers. And all of this, the reason why there is so much debate and so much controversy over this essay and what's depicted within it is that the woman died. That's the thing that's driving the argument. Because if the woman had survived with her child, everybody would be okay with them posting pictures, everywhere. It's the fact that the pictures catch them at their last minute of life, and the fact that the newspapers in some ways profit off of that. So depending on who you ask, there's different opinions about it, of whether or not the pictures should have been depicted. In terms of what Nora Ephron thinks, she says that they should be depicted. Why? And she kind of builds a debate or an argument. She says that all of the time on the news, you do see gruesome scenes. When there's a car crash or a pile up, you see mangled cars and broken glass everywhere. But it's rare that you see a dead body and you see a gory scene or a bloody mess. And she's saying, why are we running away from that? Why are we scared to show that on camera? Why are we scared to show pictures of that? Because that's what makes it important. That's what makes it significant. It's the fact that death is always around you. It's the fact that death is something that we have to deal with, and being afraid of it and not showing it on the news, on newspapers, on different platforms. Being afraid of it is not going to solve anything. It's something that, in of a way, from my point of view, it's kind of she's kind of saying that we should embrace death in all of its form, and taking pictures of it and putting it in a newspaper. There's nothing really wrong with that, because she believes that a picture of someone dying is worth much more than the written word, and it does capture your intention and the significance of certain things more. As the old saying says, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So in terms of analysis, in terms of the deeper meaning of this essay, there's a lot of ethics in it. It says a lot about death and how we view death, and some individuals are just not comfortable with seeing people as they die. Even the photographer within the essay, he tells us, because the Nora Ephron, she begins this essay with the point of view of the photographer and what's going on in the photographer's mind, and he says that he did not look when the body hit the ground, because she just didn't want to see her body, the mother's body, hit the ground with the baby on top of her. And so that reaction kind of like shows us what a lot of people think about death. We don't want to see death. We don't want to be around death. That's why we're scared of anything that has to do with death. No one wants to get close to a cemetery. No one wants to get close to a dead body. We're afraid of it. No one wants to go near a house where somebody died, because we don't want to deal with death. We don't want to associate ourselves with death. But it's pretty much the main event of life. Everyone has to die. Everyone has to go. Everyone has to face it at some point. And running away from it and not showing pictures of it and not showing the gory scenes of it, it's not going to change the fact that death is happening every single second, every single minute, somewhere around the world, or at some point. It's going to happen at some point in your life. That's just the reality of it. So it says a lot about our society and um, how we view life, and just how we try not to think about the fact that we can't live forever and that we won't be here forever. At least that's my point of view of it. There's also the fact that it's kind of extremely dark that these newspapers would just profit off of the fact that this young woman is dying. The essay, from the essay, we actually learned that she was only 19 years old. So pretty much a child dying, and people are just oohing and ahhing about her death and how shocking it was. So it's something that's very dark to profit off of, and it just says a lot about society in general. So that's my summary and analysis of the Boston Photographs by Nora Ephron. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in my next video.